Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Today we are going to discuss an interesting problem that I came across in coding round of a company. So the problem is called elastic collisions. I could not find it anywhere online and on any platform. So let's jump right into it. So we are given n balls which are elastic, and we are given their positions where they are placed at, and we are also given the velocity of each ball in an array. All right, we are given the velocities of those balls in the form of an array. So just visualize this as a table, a table of length L, and the balls are placed at different positions on this table, and at time is equal to 0, the balls are released with these velocities. If they are released with these velocities at t is equal to 0, the question states that we have to find out the time taken for the last ball, that will be the last ball to cross the bounds of the table. Eventually every ball will drop out of the table, right? So at what time does the last ball get out of the table? That time we should calculate. I hope you understood the problem. Now let's discuss the solution. So if you think this is a kind of problem, if you look from outside, it is kind of very hard problem. But if you break it down, then you will find it very easy. So how are we going to convert this from hard to easy problem? So, and I forgot to mention that every ball is of equal mass. So whenever, I hope you know elastic collision concept, when two balls collide with different velocities, they exchange their velocities. So I broke down the problem. Just think of a solution to solve this problem. So please pause this video and think of it. Now let's discuss the solution. So this is the basic concept of elastic collision. I hope you have studied in your intermediate, if you liked physics. Before collision, now this is a case where two balls are coming together to collide before collision. Ball 1 is with v1 velocity and ball 2 is v2 velocity, and after collision we see that the velocities are getting interchanged as the collision is elastic. So they just change their roles. Now I'm going to walk you through another example. So let's consider this as ball 2 and this as ball 1. So before collision, the ball 2 is going right with a velocity of 2 meters per second, and ball 1 is going left with a velocity of 3 meters per second. And after the collision, the velocities get interchanged as we have discussed before. This is what they would look like after the collision. The ball 2 will be with 3 meter per second velocity and ball 1 will be with 2 meter per second velocity. Now this is how they look actually, but I am going to visualize this in a completely different way so that the problem gets simpler for us to solve. Now as their masses are equal, after collision, I am just considering that the ball 1 has just crossed the ball 2 and ball 2 has crossed the ball 1. Now what do I mean by this? So actually the ball 2 is left on left and ball 1 is on right. I'm just considering that I'm just imagining that the ball 1 has crossed the ball 2 and it went towards left, and ball 2 has come to right. So this is just a visualization. So if you see carefully, ball 1 was initially traveling towards left with a velocity of 3 meters per second, and after collision it is still traveling towards left with a velocity of 3 meters per second, and ball 2 was traveling towards right with 2 meters per second, and ball 2 is still traveling towards right with a velocity of 2 meters per second. Now this is the key to solve this problem. Now I hope I made you understand this problem. So this is the actual case and this is the imaginary case. Now that you have understood that every ball will, even after the collision, they will just travel like that as if the collision has not happened. So this is the main key to solve this problem. Now let's solve this case of this problem. So if you consider this ball at 9, it was going towards left with a velocity of 4 meters per second, and it will, even if it collides with the ball 8 at 8, it will just cross it and it will keep on traveling towards left at 4 meters per second, as I have explained to you before. So similarly, you take any ball, let's take the ball at 6, it will keep on traveling with a velocity of 5 meters per second until the end. If you take the ball at 1, it will keep on traveling towards right with a velocity of 2 until the end. So now how will you find the last ball that falls off the table? Now it's just a simple array problem. You just take every ball and compute the distance to the other end, the end which is traveling towards, which the ball is traveling towards. If you take the ball at first position, it is traveling towards right. So the target for it will be 9. It should cross 9 to drop off the table. So you just have to calculate this distance from 1 to 9, which is 8, and I hope you know the speed distance time formula. I'll just write it. So time is equal to distance by speed. So here you have the distance, you have the speed, you just have to calculate the time that this ball takes to cross the table, to drop off the table. So you calculate the time for each ball, and whichever ball crosses the table at very late, whichever ball takes more time to cross the table, that will be our answer. So I just explained to you the solution of this problem. Try to code this problem. Try to code the solution of this problem on your own. I am not explaining you the coding part of this. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much.